Welcome back. Six topics today: geopolitics, environment, language rights, health governance, bilateral relations, and agriculture. All sharp. Let's go. First of all, we have the topic number one, which is India, US, Pakistan, the triangle, nuclear doctrine, and Shimla. Now the US engagement in the India Pakistan strategic equation is back in focus, involving diplomatic signaling, arms supply history, and Mediation overtures. India's response remains consistent. This relationship is bilateral, governed by the Shimla Agreement, and not open to third party intervention. The Shimla Agreement was signed by Indira Gandhi and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto after India's 1971 military victory. India's nuclear doctrine, no first use, nuclear weapons are only for retaliation, with massive retaliation promised against any nuclear attack. India and the US have signed three foundational defense agreements: LEMOA in 2016, COMCASA in 2018, and BECA in 2020. Shimla Agreement is 1972 bilateral framework, basis for India's no mediation position. NFU is the no first use. India will not use nuclear weapons first. Full spectrum deterrence is the Pakistan's doctrine, includes tactical nuclear weapons against conventional attacks. BECA, COMCASA, and LEMOA. India US Foundational Defense Agreements 2020, 2018, 2016. Nuclear Command Authority, India's body controlling nuclear weapons, chaired by Prime Minister. Strategic autonomy is India's principle of independent foreign policy decisions. Now, illegal sand mining, river ecology, and sand mafia. Illegal sand mining continues to ravage India's rivers despite Supreme Court orders, NGT directions, and the Sustainable Sand Mining Guidelines of 2016. The core problem: sand is a mineral. Sand is a minor mineral, a state subject, meaning 28 different regulatory regimes with widely varying enforcement, creating a black market there, creating a black market the sand mafia thrives on. Now, under entry 23 of the state list in the 7th schedule, sand falls under minor minerals, regulated entirely by states. The center can issue guidelines but cannot enforce them. Each state has its own permit system, its own mining department, and its own political economy, creating regulatory arbitrage where illegal sand crosses state borders faster than enforcement can follow. When sand is removed from riverbeds at scale, rivers in size, they cut deeper into their beds. Now, this lowers the water table adjacent to the river, drying up shallow wells in villages kilometers away. Multiple forest officers and district officials have been killed by sand mafia operators across MP, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh. MMDR Act 1957, Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, Primary Mining Law, amended 2015-2021, Minor Minerals, State Subject, includes sand, NT 23 State List, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Guideline 2016, Sustainable Sand Mining Guidelines, non enforceable on states. NGT, National Green Tribunal, has issued multiple orders on sand mining. M sand, manufactured sand, crushed rock substitute, eco friendly alternative. Ghadial is critically endangered river species, directly threatened by sand mining in Chambal. Then we have the Garo Khasi as official language. 8th schedule demand. Meghalaya's Khasi and Garo communities are renewing their demand for inclusion in the 8th schedule of the Constitution, the list of officially recognized languages. Currently, 22 languages are scheduled. The last amendment was in 2003 through the 92nd Amendment, Amendment, which added Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, and Santali. And the 8th schedule started with 14 languages in 1950 and has grown to 22. Inclusion means the language can be used in UPSC and state PSC examinations, receives a Sahitya Academy Award, and gets government promotion and development support. Now, Garo and Khasi are linguistically distinct. Khasi belongs to the Austroasiatic family, while Garo belongs to the Sino Tibetan. Both communities are among India's most intact matrilineal societies. Property and lineage pass through the mother's line, not the father's. Now, the 8th schedule is not just symbolic. It unlocks eligibility for official languages, it unlocks eligibility for official languages, commission, representation, government funding for language academics, and most practically, the ability for aspirants to write competitive examinations in their mother tongue. 8th schedule is Article 344 and 351, list India's 22 constitutionally recognized languages. And the 92nd Amendment 2003 is last expansion, added Bodo, Dogri, Mathili, and Santali. Khasi is Austro-Asiatic language, 1.5 million speakers, Meghalaya. Garo is Sino-Tibetan language, 1 million speakers, Garo Hills, Meghalaya. Sixth schedule is Meghalaya's tribal language, tribal governance protection, autonomous district councils, and matrilineal is descent and property through mother's line, Khasi, Garo, and Nair communities. Then we have the vaccine injury compensation, India's accountability gap. So, India administered approximately 2.2 billion COVID 19 doses, the world's largest vaccination campaign. In 2024, AstraZeneca formally admitted in UK court proceedings that Covishield can cause TTS or thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome. In rare cases, India has no statutory, no fault compensation scheme for vaccine injured individuals. Now, India's universal immunization program vaccinates around 90 million children annually, one of the world's largest. COVID added 2.2 billion more doses. At even very low adverse event rates, this scale implies thousands of potential serious injury cases. TDS is thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome, means blood clots forming alongside dangerously low platelet counts. United States created its vaccine injury compensation program in 1986, funded by a small excise tax on every vaccine dose, and has paid out approximately $5.6 billion to around 10,000 petitioners. AEFI is the adverse events following immunization. Five categories: product related, quality defect, immunization error, anxiety related, coincidental. Then TTS is the thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome, blood clot plus low platelets. UIP is the Universal Immunization Program. VICP is the US Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. No fault compensation. Injured party compensated without needing to prove negligence. And Article 21 is the right to life and health, right to remedy when state promoted program causes harm. Then we have the India South Korea SEPA Semiconductors K9 Vajra. Now, India South Korea relations are deepening on multiple tracks. A SEPA upgrade under negotiations since 2021, emerging semiconductor supply chain alignment with Samsung and SK Hynix, and the K9 Vajra Howitzer partnership as India's most successful defense cooperation co-production today. Now, India and South Korea signed their Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement in 2009, covering goods, services, and investment. PM Modi's 2015 Seoul visit elevated the relationship to a special strategic partnership. Bilateral trade has grown from around $12 billion at SEPA signing to approximately 20 to $25 billion today. The K9 Vajra is a self-propelled howitzer produced by Larsen and Toubro under license from the South Korea's Hanwha Defense. 100 units have been contracted for the Indian Army, manufactured at L&T's Hazira facility in Surat, with progressive indigenization. Now, South Korea is home to Samsung Semiconductor and SK Hynix, the world's first and second largest DRAM manufacturers. As global semiconductor supply chains diversify away from Taiwan, India's semiconductor mission creates a natural opening for Korea. SEPA 2009 is the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, India Korea, goods plus services plus investment. Special strategic partnership is elevated bilateral status 2015. K9 Vajra is self-propelled howitzer, L&T plus Hanwha, 100 units deployed in Ladakh. Now, Samsung SK Hynix is world's top two DRAM manufacturers, South Korean. Hallyu is Korean wave, K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, growing soft power in India. Koka is Korea Creative Content Agency, government vehicle for Korean cultural exports. Then we have the normal monsoon 2026, IMD forecast and agricultural stakes. The India Meteorological Department has issued its April 2026 long range forecast, predicting a normal southwest monsoon rainfall in the 96 to 104% range of the long period average. This comes after El Nino driven stress in 2023-2024 and signals better agricultural prospects for the Kharif season. The long period average for the India southwest monsoon is approximately 87 centimeters, calculated over 50 years of data. The normal means rainfall will be between 96 and 104% of this average. ENSO is the El Nino Southern Oscillation, is the primary global driver of the India's monsoon variability. El Nino is the warm phase. It weakens the Walker circulation over the Pacific, reducing moisture flow into India. linked to India's major droughts of 2002, 2009, 2014, and 2023. Approximately 55% of the India's net sown area has no irrigation. It depends entirely on monsoon rainfall. A 10% monsoon deficit typically reduces kharif output by 2 to 4%, spikes food prices by 3 to 5%, and increases rural unemployment. This is why the RBI watches the monsoon forecast. Food has a 46% weight in India's CPI basket, and a deficient monsoon pushes food inflation above the 6% tolerance ceiling. Now, LPA is the long period average. ENSO is the El Nino Southern Oscillation, tropical Pacific temperature cycle, primary monsoon driver. El Nino is the warm phase, suppresses India's monsoon, linked to drought years. La Nina is the cool phase, enhances India's monsoon, positive for agriculture. IOD is the Indian Ocean Dipole, second teleconnection. Positive IOD enhances monsoon independently. And rain-fed agriculture is the 55% of India's sown area, directly dependent on southwest monsoon. So, geopolitics, environment, language, health, bilateral relations, and agriculture. Stay consistent. See you tomorrow. Thank you.